This is The Daily Rule. I'm your host, Bryce Prescott, and welcome to your insider access to the mindset, skill sets, and habits of the truly successful. These rules of success are short 10 to 15-minute messages, making it easy to consume and share for maximum impact. Here's today's Daily Rule. Hey, what's going on, my friends? Welcome back, of course, to another episode of The Daily Rule. If you're watching the video, I want to say thank you for supporting this new medium. It's a little bit of extra work, which I'm totally fine doing, but I wanted you to be able to see me, hear me, the whole thing. We talked about that before. Additionally, if you're not subscribed on the Daily Rule YouTube channel, I invite you to go do that. The link, if you go to Bryce, the linktr.ee /bryceprescott, the link to the Daily Rule YouTube page is there. If you're watching this on the Facebook Live, please subscribe. What am I saying? Please engage, comment, share, help me if you're a fan of this show and has been something that has been valuable to you. Please help me to spread the word. I'm feeling somewhat somber about today's message because I know how important it is, and I know that that we really need to dive in to this on a deeper level. I had this moment come to me today where I realized, even though I've talked about faith on these episodes and the requirement that exists to believe in a friendly universe and to have faith in the idea that you can have whatever it is that you choose to focus on, and putting the work in, and of course, mindset, skill sets, habits, all that. I was reminded recently of something that just really put it all back into perspective, and I felt a responsibility to share it. And so as a part of this message, I want to preface what I'm about to say with this video, in that if you get anything from it, I'm feeling an extra push here, so please help me to get this into as many ears as possible. Please share the specific episode, share the YouTube video, share the Facebook Live. We need more of what I'm going to talk about today. And I'm just going to jump right in. A good friend of mine, I've spoken about him many times on this podcast, is a man by the name of John Madsen. For review, John has an incredible, somewhat Cinderella story in that he never played a down of high school football. He's about 6'5", very handsome, strong, athletic, gifted man athletically, but he devoted his younger years to basketball more than football, actually. And his story goes that when he walked on to Snow College down in southern Utah, they didn't have a spot for him on the basketball team, and because of his size and his athletic ability, the coach there said to go try out for the football team, man. You got all the physical gifts. And so he did that. He went and played football for a year, and then transferred to the University of Utah, and was at the University of Utah as a walk-on. The 2000, I can't remember the specific years. I want to say 2003 to 2004 was when it started. It was the year that the University of Utah was coached by legend Urban Meyer, and they went undefeated. They were called the BCS Busters. They went to the it was the Tostito Bowl in Arizona. Anyway, John had a touchdown in the game. The point I'm getting at is that he was a part of a historically successful football team. He then was touted as somebody that was going to be in the NFL. He was at one time considered by Mel Kiper to be one of the top 5 wide receivers to be drafted in all of college football. I want to say it was his junior year, maybe it was his senior year, he broke his leg. He was doing a blocking deal, and somebody fell on his leg, and it ended up breaking. Obviously, he wasn't able to go to the combine. All the talk of him being drafted went away. He said he had dozens of agents that were trying to get his business. They stopped calling and wouldn't even take his phone call back. And so he decided that his dream to be in the NFL was still something that he believed he could do. And he went and walked on to the Oakland Raiders and ended up getting a spot on that team and played in the NFL for, I believe it was 4 years. Finished his career at the Cleveland Browns. And John recently was able to meet up with his old coach, Urban Meyer, here in Salt Lake City. the coach of the Utah Utes, invited Urban to come to speak to the team. And in seeing some of the messages and things that have come out of that meeting and the experiences they had with Urban, Urban's message hasn't changed as a college football coach. And you can see his influence in John and the trickle-down effect of me even sharing this message with you today. And what it is this. And if you're watching this on the video, I want you to look at me in the face when I say this. And if you're listening to this on the audio, I want you to really pay attention to this. You can do whatever you put your mind, heart, and body into. You just have to believe on a core cellular level that it's possible. The universe shifts things around in your favor when your belief is unwavering. When you know that you can accomplish something against all odds, when you have that deep-rooted belief in yourself, in your willingness to do the work, and in the universe, basically, you must believe. Believe in big things, not just dream of big things. Believe. As I said in yesterday's message, put yourself in the emotional place where you are feeling that as a reality. The trifecta in all of this is in your willingness to believe in yourself, being tapped in with faith into a loving and benevolent universe that will allow it to happen, and then taking the action necessary to inch toward the possibility of that belief, all while feeling that it's a reality under the surface. When you can believe on that level, things happen. But the reality is most of us don't. We allow external things to change the way that we view our abilities, the way that we view our trajectory, and what we are capable of. We allow the appearance and evidence of failure to knock us off the vision we have for what we really want in our futures. We allow ourselves to be talked out of by that internal voice saying that this is just dreaming. You're just daydreaming. This isn't real. You're never going to do it. And that is where we all get it wrong. You can do whatever you want. There are examples in every industry, of every type of person, of every race, every gender, every ethnicity, of people that have done incredible things that have bucked the odds, that statistically they never should have been able to accomplish what they accomplished. But they believed on a core level that they could do it, and they took action, even when they didn't think that it, even when the evidence was there externally that it would never happen. Think about some of the greats, people like Jackie Robinson. Think of what men like Steve Jobs accomplished, Elon Musk. Think of yourself. The reason why most people never achieve to those levels isn't because they're not capable. It's because they're not willing. And it's not that they're not willing to do work. We're all working on some level. It's that they don't believe that they can do it. So what I want you to do as a result of this episode, I want you to think and feel where your level of belief is relating to what you can accomplish in this world. And I want you to think about it across the 4 areas that we discussed so much in this podcast. I want you to think about it in relationship to your mind and body, your fitness, in your relationships, what type of dynamic personal relationships can you have? I want you to think about it in your business, the amount of money you can make and the amount of impact that you can make with those resources at your disposal. And I want you to think about what your legacy is for this planet. We have a responsibility to make the most of ourselves while we are here. There's a lot of noise that could affect us if we internalize it. There's political discord. There's distrust. There's fake news. There's lying and cheating. It doesn't take long to find evidence that we live in a messed up planet. But there's also evidence that we are surrounded by greatness, and we can tap into our own greatness if we choose to believe in it as a reality. So get to it. You, the one watching this video right now, the one listening, you got work to do. Your life isn't over with. You have some things you need to accomplish. You are setting a trail, a path for those to follow behind you. And if you do not take that responsibility greatly, they will suffer. But more importantly, you will. I remember hearing this example one time of what true regret would look like if it was to be embodied. And it was given that we would meet upon our death the person to whom we could have become. It all starts with your willingness to believe that you are a gift and that you are great and that you can accomplish whatever you set in motion. So let's get to it. My friends, I appreciate you as listeners of this podcast. We're rounding out another week. Let's get to it. Let's create greatness. Let's be great. Let's step into our greatness and accomplish great and magnificent things. Not because we want to, but because we know we have to. Friends, that's all I got to say. You know the drill. Love your life, live out loud, and like I always say, until next time, take it a day at a time. I'm out. Thank you for joining me for another episode of The Daily Rule. If you'd like assistance applying today's rule to your life, I invite you to click the link in the show notes and download my free assessment tool, The 3 Methods, that helps you to know exactly where you should focus your attention for the quickest transformation. As you're aware, the opportunities to be coached directly by me are limited, but if you'd like to see if you're a fit for us to transform your performance and your mindset together, making your life exactly what you've always hoped it would be, reach out to me at bryce@rulesofsuccess.com. Also, if today's episode resonated with you, I ask that you please head to iTunes and leave me a 5-star rating and review. That link is also in the show notes. Thanks again for joining me for The Daily Rule.